Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of Invisible Head Investing. I'm the Invisible Head Investor and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite stocks, Wkhs. So before we get started, hey guys, if you want to get some free stock, click on the link below and create a new account with Webull. You get 2 free stocks worth between $2.50 up to $250 just for creating an account. Now, if you deposit $100, you get an additional 2 stocks worth between $8 and $1,600. That's a pretty good return on your investment. Thanks for supporting the channel. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, welcome back. So, as you guys may have noticed, today there was a bump up in Wkhs stock. It was up 8.29%. There's a really good reason as to why the stock is up today. So, let's take a closer look and see what's going on. Okay, so news broke earlier today that Wkhs has its largest order of electric last mile delivery vans to date, but the order is contingent on Wkhs being able to fulfill it. So Pride Group Enterprises, which operates 17 retail and rental truck locations in the US and Canada, ordered 6,320 vans for delivery between this July and 2026. 5 times the backlog Wkhs has for its C650 and C1000 battery-powered composite body vans. Okay, so earlier this year, we know that Wkhs had some production issues. About a third of their workforce had come down with the Roni, and that obviously delayed their production for this year. So there is a backlog. Wkhs does have a few other pending orders that they need to fulfill. They have an order from the UPS for 950 C-Series vans. It had a total backlog of about 1,100 vans at the end of third quarter in 2020, not counting the 500 truck order from the commercial vehicle distributor from Pritchard. This large order solidifies our first mover advantage and indicates the heightened interest in our last mile delivery products, Wkhs CEO Dwayne Hughes said in the press release. This is phenomenal news, guys. Now, some people are probably thinking, how is Wkhs going to produce all these vehicles and fulfill their backlog when not too long ago they announced that they planned on producing or manufacturing 1,800 trucks for 2021? I mean, yeah, I know this order stretches through 2026, and there shouldn't be a problem fulfilling that order, even with the backlog that they have in place. Now, what if news comes out that Wkhs is also getting a portion, or if not the whole contract for USPS? How are they going to fulfill this order or all these orders, considering that they were only planning on manufacturing 1,800 trucks? Now, I know this is speculation about USPS, but if you think about it, you're talking about potentially 150,000 USPS vehicles that need to be manufactured and delivered within a 5-year span. I know Wkhs has the capability of hiring more people, and I think the key here, them manufacturing and meeting their manufacturing goals, is their relationship with Lordstown Motors. Lordstown has their huge, over 600,000 square foot manufacturing plant, and Wkhs has a great relationship with Lordstown Motors. So because they have such a good relationship, I believe that Lordstown Motors is going to assist Wkhs by letting them use part of their manufacturing plant to help meet these orders. We know that Lordstown Motors also has approximately 80,000 pre-orders for their endurance truck as well, so they have to make sure that they can produce their own vehicles in a timely fashion to fulfill their pre-orders. But with a plant as large as they have, which is one of the largest in the United States, I believe that it's doable, that they can actually divide that plant and allow Wkhs to produce some of their vehicles there. And I believe that this will in turn generate some income for Lordstown Motors as well. I'm assuming they're going to potentially lease part of their plant to Wkhs, so Wkhs can manufacture, and maybe even potentially use some of Lordstown Motors' employees to help in the manufacturing process, I'm guessing. So this is all speculation, I know, but at the same time, massive news, positive news for Wkhs, and I think it's just the beginning. I think there's more great catalysts coming up for the stock. Let's take a look at the chart real quick. So let's take a look at the chart. This is a 10-day chart, and we can see that not too long ago, Wkhs peaked at 24.50. It hit a resistance and came right back down to 1972. I think part of this sell-off was because it was year-end and some investors were taking profits before the end of the year. And now we saw a little bit of an increase today. We saw a spike mainly because of this news. And I think there are a lot of people that still haven't heard the news yet. So I think tomorrow we'll see this trend upward continue. I don't know where it's going to top off. It might go back up to this resistance of $25 or so, $24.50. This is my current price target. If you're looking to day trade or swing trade Workhorse, I think you have a pretty decent buying opportunity in the 21 and change range. Workhorse might open a little higher tomorrow at market open, somewhere probably in the $22, $23 range. But I think there's potential for some upside up to maybe $24.50 or so. So if you're looking for a day trade, you know, there is some potential to scalp some quick profits here, I believe. But in the long term, Workhorse might continue to consolidate a little bit, going sideways within this $20 to $25 price point until the announcement of the USPS contract comes out. Okay, let's take a look at the Lordstown Motors stock real quick. And we can see that Lordstown Motors also peaked right around 24.17, right around the same time that Workhorse was at 24.50. And then they gradually started coming down, but not as great of a rate as Workhorse did. We saw Lordstown Motors stock price drop gradually, and it's kind of trading sideways. Today it hit lows of about 19.30 or so, 19.25, 19.30. And closed at about $20.35 or so. So I think there's potential for Lordstown Motors to go up as well. And if you look at Lordstown Motors' track record, if you look at your charts and if you compare the two stocks, Workhorse and Lordstown Motors, you'll see that they kind of follow each other. Okay, there might be a discrepancy of $1 or $2 for the most part between the stocks, but normally when you see Workhorse go up or Lordstown Motors go up, the other stock follows, and then when one stock goes down, the other one tends to go down. So I think this is a really good catalyst for Workhorse. I think you're going to see Workhorse go up for a few days this week or a couple of days this week, and I think that Lordstown Motors is going to follow suit. So even if Workhorse is a little more expensive than Lordstown Motors, potentially Lordstown Motors could be a good scalp or swing trade, day trade or swing trade option if you find that Workhorse is a little too expensive and there's not a lot of meat on the bone. If it opens in the $23, $24 range, if it opens in the $22 to $23 range and you expect it to potentially top off at that resistance of $24.50, maybe you can get Lordstown Motors in the $21 range with the same expectation that it'll go up to around that $24 range as a resistance. Actually, Lordstown Motors resistance, based on my previous charts, is right around $25. So here it didn't quite hit that $25 price point, but there's potential for it to go that high before it hits that resistance. First, it has to overcome this resistance of right around $21.50 or so. But I think that, you know, if Workhorse goes up, then I think there's potential for Lordstown Motors to break through that $21.50 and hit towards that $25 resistance point. So, you know, watch both stocks closely. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Trade your book the way you want to trade your book, but at the same time, I see potential possibilities here. I have decent positions in both stocks right now with equal shares between the two, so there's a good possibility that I'll be taking some profits if the stock continues to go towards that $25 price point. So guys, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you're planning on doing with Workhorse. If you're trading Lordstown Motors as well, have you seen the correlation between the two stocks? And let me know if you want me to make more videos like this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.